people are watching a lot of fitness influencers, and some of them are good, some of them are great, but a lot of them are like not very qualified to share that type of information. And I thought, why are the qualified people not sharing more about this? And like it's like we're just trying to please each other in the circle of coaches when there's a market here who need us. So I had that realization and I said, okay, why not? I can do it. I can try to speak in front of the camera. I have to share what I know to people.
Hi, good day, truth seekers. Welcome to the Unspoken Truth with DGY Academy. I am Christelle.
And I'm Samantha. We are here to fuel your curiosities. Dive with us as we uncover the unspoken truth of people from different walks of life.
Hi, Sam. Kamusta ka? How are you today? This is another episode of the podcast. I am very excited sa guest natin today.
Absolutely, Miss Krista. Good day. I do hope you're safe and healthy. To be honest, I'm really honored to hear these stories of hope and motivation, and we will be featuring another one today.
Right. Diba nga sabi ko, ang dami na nating coaches na invite sa podcast. But today, this is another coach. So without further ado, let me introduce her now. Our guest for today is the owner and founder of Laystrength Fitness Training Services. This person is also a performance specialist in the Philippine Sports Commission and SEA Games in 2019. And also the creator of Glute Build Program, an ebook that helps the clients to grow their body while toning their body as well. So yeah, I would like to welcome to the show, Coach Lay Mijares. Magandang umaga po.
Good morning. Thank you for that introduction, Tel and Sam. So I'm very glad to be here today.
Hello
Yay!
po, Coach Lay. So, siguro to start off, I'd like to ask, nung bata po kayo, did you see this coming that one day you'll become a part of the fitness industry?
Uh, Actually, yes, because I actually started when I was 13 years old pa lang. So that's really when I started working out and I really got into it. From there on moving forward, ayun na yung naging passion ko talaga.
Grabe. So, nung 13 years old ako, ano bang ginagawa ko noon? Siguro nag-Chinese garter pa rin ako, pero si Coach Lay nag-start na siyang mag-workout. Pero parang I'd like to ponder on that na parang, meron po bang nag-inspire sa inyo to start working out? Or meron po ba kayong mga nakasama such as friends or kamag-anak, relatives na related din po sa field na to? Or is it something natural na, okay, baka parang it sounds interesting. It rings a bell in my head na baka ito yung gusto ko talagang gawin or baka magandang subukan. Paano po siya nangyari?
Okay. So back then kasi I was in high school. So I had this common reason of just wanting to look fit. And I also didn't like not being able to even do one push-up because I had thin arms back then. So I felt very weak and I didn't like it. So after my first session, I couldn't stop thinking about the gym. So I went there 4 times a week. But over time, I realized that like fitness is not as simple as I think it was. And I realized the hard way that there's actually a science behind it. Ayun yung parang nag-lead sa akin sa like with what I'm doing right now in our company. Kasi after a few months into working out back then, nung nag-start ako, I developed several injuries. So I had elbow and wrist pain, back pain, shoulder pain, and eventually I tore my hamstrings. So I thought that I knew a lot because I googled it and I searched for it in YouTube. So in college I took up sports science in UST, and after my studies there, I realized that there's so much science behind exercise. And looking back at those Google and YouTube videos I used to watch before I took my degree and before I had experience training people, a lot of them didn't make sense on a scientific standpoint. So, ayun, I observed that people are struggling to lose weight, they're developing injuries, all because of the same reasons na I struggled when I was starting out. I saw that there were lots of misinformation in the fitness industry, and I decided one day that I'll make a change about it. And that's what I did. In order to make a change, I had to build a company with a team of sports and exercise scientists. So yeah, that's why I got into this profession. I want to give people what they deserve because I know that they have deep rooted reasons why they started working out in the first place. That's just not right to fool people and tell them something that's not true, just so you can sell something to them. And I believe that there's so many things to improve when it comes to delivering fitness services online. So like that's the gist, the story of like how it started and why I'm here today.
You've mentioned po, Coach Lay, na parang you've been watching a lot of misinformation online about how to work out at home or how to do workout while, watching YouTube or any, social media account. I'd like to ask, ano po yung naging turning point wherein naisip ninyo na, okay, I think I should start making contents or any like videos related to parang educating people on how to really do workout correctly. So, meron po bang parang nag-trigger sa inyo to do that?
Meron, I can say. Kasi based on my observation, before I started creating content, people are watching a lot of fitness influencers. And some of them are good, some of them are great. But a lot of them are like not very qualified to share that type of information. And I thought, why are the qualified people not sharing more about this? And like it's like we're just trying to please each other in the circle of coaches when there's a market here who need us. So I had that realization and I said, okay, why not? I can do it. I can try to speak in front of the camera. I have to share what I know to people.
Sobrang galing nun. I was watching a few videos of you nga, Coach, sa Instagram. Sabi ko, ang galing. Parang sobrang pwede din pala to. Unlike with other creators, di ba? Parang kailangan mo lang din talagang malaman kung ano yung pwede mong i-share sa mga tao. And that is a good avenue to share, di ba, Coach? Siguro po, question na lang din would be, yung nabanggit niyo po kanina na parang maraming influencer na nagsha-share na kailangan ganito yung gawin mong workout every day. Tama ba yun na parang gayahin natin yung mga fitness journey ng mga artista, ganon?
In general, no, because sometimes, diba, they share their routine, their personal routine, pero what worked for them wouldn't necessarily work for you. Kasi ang dami yung differences. Like, weight, height, aside from that, yung available na resources nyo. There's so many factors to consider. So if you're just gonna copy someone's program, and lalo na if that program is very restricting and hindi naman necessary na ganun ka-restrictive dapat yung ginagawa nyo, I don't think that will be beneficial for people, especially in the long run. It might even develop a lot of eating disorders, which I really don't like.
Yun nga po kasi parang, di ba, Ms. Tel, parang ang daming misconceptions circulating online na parang about, okay, siguro pwede mong kainin to without working out and then papayat ka. But basically, no, that's not the case kasi parang hindi naman to, like parang in just a snap, mangyayari lahat ng mga hinihiling mo. Pero I'd like to go back, Coach Lay, dun sa sinabi mo kanina na it wasn't a piece of cake as how you perceive it to be. Parang ganun yung nakita mo in terms of working out. I'd like to ask, was there a time na parang inisip mo na ang hirap talaga, parang ayoko na, can I just change path like right away? Meron ba akong, may part po ba na bigla ninyong parang naisip or napag-contemplate na baka hindi talaga ito yung path na para sa akin?
I would say no, kasi I don't give up in the things that I want. So even if I encounter a lot of setbacks, like even if I encounter a lot of failures, I find a way to get what I want always. So I would say that there was a time that I had a big setback. So it was when I had the hamstring tear injury. Kasi I couldn't lift a barbell without feeling pain. I couldn't run without feeling something in my hamstrings. And it really affected me because I thought at that time I will not be able to pursue this career anymore because I couldn't even demo a leg exercise properly. So I remember I even texted my parents and I told them I need to go to a PT. But I was in college back then, so I didn't make money. And I sent a long message to them. I had to go to the hospital, get therapy, physical therapy. It was machine based and manual therapy. But from experience back then, it did reduce the pain, but it wasn't enough to make me go back to normal. And I tried a lot of things, but they didn't work. And it frustrated me because it wasn't just a matter of 1 month, 2 months. It took a year na I didn't work out. And I've been working out for how many years na. So it really kind of like broke my heart back then. I remember I was crying when I was about to go home. So it was really a downtime for me. But like just like with to answer your question, I didn't think that I'm going to give up back then. Instead of thinking of giving up, I looked for different types of solutions. That's what I did. When the physical therapy didn't really work for me, I studied it on my own. I picked up a thick book about rehabilitation, pain science. I studied it, but it didn't also work enough for me. And I asked a coach to help me, and he gave me a strength program for my hamstrings, and that one worked for me. So from there, I learned that slowly introducing load to your body part, to your injured body part, is a great way to rehabilitate it. So from there, I learned how to rehabilitate the injury. I was able to lift again, and I continued with my path.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Coach. Grabe, no? Ako din, kahit ako, hindi din ako titigil sa mga bagay na gusto ko talaga. Pero, Coach, I think this is too way personal now, no? But I wanted to know, was there a time na sinabi na ng parents mo to stop doing what you want na because na-injured ka na nga eh?
At that time, they didn't say that. But when they first saw me going to the gym and they saw me picking up a heavy barbell with heavy plates, my mom didn't like it. She said that that's too heavy, you might injure yourself. Bigat-bigat yan, lagi ka na lang nasa gym. Mag-gym ka na naman, oras na 8 p.m. na. So I always heard that. Pero after 2 years, parang napagod na siya, pati yung grandma ko. Sinasabi na lang nila, mag-gym ka ba mamaya? So natatanggap na nila na lagi ako nag-gym that time. But during the hamstring injury, kasi I said it through a long message, like parang essay talaga. And I was crying when I was typing it. So I think they felt that. And they said, she talked to my dad na they will help me and they will find for a physical therapist.
Ayun, Coach. So, siguro kanina kasi parang may nabanggit ka na parang one of the reasons why you started working out is because meron kang insecurity sa katawan mo, no? That's why parang you really tried to do workout. Pero siguro for sure yung ating listeners and viewers na nakikinig at nanonood ngayon, for sure meron din silang naisip in mind na isa sa insecurities nila kasi we all have our own insecurities, right? So siguro most most of the time, yung mga tao na nag-start mag-workout, most especially in this time of the pandemic, ay may insecurity yung gusto nilang ma-eradicate sa sarili nila. So, parang is there any piece of advice na pwede mong ma-share, Coach, sa mga nakikinig at nanonood ngayon na merong specific insecurity, be it physical or, something from within?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, ang masasabi ko dyan, since I've tried it before, I was insecure back then, up to the point na I was eating very little. And of course, nag-show up yung abs, ripped yung body ko, ang baba ng body fat ko. But was I happy back then when I reached that? I would say that no, I wasn't. It didn't fix my insecurities back then. So for the listeners here, if you think that having six-pack abs will like cure your insecurities, as a coach, I would say na, sige, kasi that's what I'm selling, diba? But I'm always honest with people. Um, it will not fix your insecurities if you will not learn how to like appreciate and really love yourself for who you are, and if you're not doing it for yourself. Okay, so if you're just doing it for other people to please them, and because their opinions matter to you, I would say that that will really not help with your insecurities. So every day you have to learn how to appreciate yourself, how to improve yourself. Because when you're improving yourself, you start appreciating more of yourself. You start trusting yourself more. So that's what I would say.
Very
Thank you for
beautiful.
that. Grabe. Kasi like, I've been reading a lot of articles talaga, Miss Tel, online. And a lot of people would really, parang bash talaga people who are, body shaming other people. Kasi, di ba parang we are a lot, parang we are seeing a lot online. And parang ang daming nangyayari without us even seeing our worth as a person. Lalo na kapag natatamaan yung insecurities natin and parang mas pinakikinggan natin yung ibang tao rather than ourselves, which is dapat yun yung utmost priority natin. Siguro follow up lang din, Coach, with regard doon sa matter ng pagkakaroon ng insecurities, no? Kasi yung may mga tao na ang isa sa main reasons nila kung bakit sila nag-workout ay dahil gusto nilang matanggal yung insecurities na yon. Pero may mga napapanood ako online na nag-workout sila, they're doing their best to really, be fit at the same time and be healthy at the same time. Pero parang for other people, it seems like, bakit sobrang payat niya? Hindi na siya parang mukha na siyang kalansay. Hindi na siya parang, super healthy. Parang konti na lang mababaklas na yung mga buto niya. Parang is it really about the fitness or is it about the mentality of people? Parang, I hope I'm making a cross on this. Kasi I read an article na parang hindi ko alam kung sino ba talaga may problema, kung yung tao ba na nag-workout na talagang gusto lang niyang maging fit and healthy, or yung mga tao talaga na may ganong mentality na parang, they never really see the good things talaga of the people.
Yeah. Not the fault of the person working out, because if you're doing it for yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. So if somebody is saying that to you, that's a reflection of them, not you. It means that they're in a really bad place, that they make those types of comments. They have a lot of time on their hands, and they spread that type of negativity to you. So that says a lot about them, not you. So if you're really doing your workouts to improve yourself and you feel happy with how you look like, you shouldn't listen to those types of people, and you don't take it personally, because it's about them. It's not about you.
Thank you for sharing that, Coach. I'm really learning a lot right now about body shaming. Gaining self-love ba? Ganyan, Sam. But also, Coach, we wanted to know lang po, like, paano po nag-start si Laystrength? Is it like a passion project of yours? I know this is not the first tawag dito, business that you have, but ano po yung pinaka-goal ni Laystrength aside from, helping other people to be fit and to be healthy?
Mm-hmm. When it started, it was just me. Uh, I was doing it via online coaching, and eventually, right now, it's a corporation na. So I have partners, I have a team who are helping our clients, and our mission is really to raise the standards of like how the fitness industry is doing, how the clients are like receiving their workouts. Kasi our mission is to always provide evidence-based fitness. As I said earlier, we don't like spreading out lies. If this is what you need, this is what we're going to tell you and give you. That's the belief of the company. And also for the online coaching, I saw that it has a lot of potential in terms of giving more access to more people everywhere to for them to access more evidence-based workouts. And that's really what we're doing. That's what we're developing. We want to improve the online coaching services a lot everywhere in the world.
Ayun no, Miss Tel. So, bale nabanggit kasi ni Coach Lay yung about sa online coaching. So, were you really affected, Coach, by the pandemic? Because parang a lot of people or a lot of businesses in general struggled a lot, lalo na in terms of, financial, and lalo na yung in terms of dealing with their clients kasi parang sanay sila sa usual kalakaran ng business. But in terms of the online coaching ni Laystrength, did you encountered any difficulties?
Okay. Actually, Samantha, even before the pandemic, nakita ko na yung potential ng online coaching. And I saw na yung fitness industry, it's gonna lean towards that sometime in the future. So, sinimulan ko na siya ng maaga pa. And when the pandemic hit, I knew what to do. Like, I knew how to deliver it, how to market it, and how we're going to expand it. But personally, of course, it's not easy knowing that many people are suffering and affected by it. And it's also currently hard because we're on lockdown and even some of our clients are affected by it. Some of our clients' families have COVID, which is not great. But business-wise, thankfully, we're doing fine due to the fact that the nature of our business is purely online.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that, Coach. I think, oo nga, maganda din na naging tawag dito. I think a lot of celebrities din or nakikita ko sa Instagram and other social media na meron din silang online classes for online coaching nga kung tawagin natin, 'di ba, Sam? I've seen a couple of artistas who did that before even the pandemic. So I think that is parang tawag dito, a good start or parang naging practice na din siya before nangyari yung pandemic, unlike with other businesses. But siguro last question na lang that we have for Coach would be, is there any other profession, like for example, totally naging nawala na yung passion mo over to this, like mawala lang siya, for example, is there any other profession that you'd like to enter po?
Other profession other than coaching? Okay. Well, currently, technically, I'm also in another profession. Because I'm currently the president of the company. So it's like I'm doing a lot of business stuff instead of the coaching stuff. So business also interests me a lot, and I can also work every day doing that, and that is fun for me, even if it's not fun for people. And I find myself working very hard for the business, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it every day. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's great to know, no? I think connected naman siya palagi talaga, like what Coach Paulo would tell us nga, as an employee of DGY Academy. Anyway, last na question na lang talaga, Coach. Do you have any
Yeah,
other
go ahead.
questions, Sam?
Ako, parang nasagot na niya lahat ng questions ko in terms of, yung issues and parang circulating things online. But, thank you so much for that, for, clarifying that, most especially to our listeners and to our audience. Thank you for that, Coach Lay.
Uh-huh. Okay. So,
For me,
question?
Coach, siguro just to break the misconception of everybody, is there one thing na hindi mo pa na-share sa content mo sa IG na you wanted people to really know?
Hmm. Um, in terms of what then?
Like siguro for eating, Coach. I think I asked Coach A about this. Is it right for us to tawag dito? Kagaya po nung sinabi ko kanina, kailangan tawag dito, tama ba na gayahin natin yung mga routines and eating yung mga diets ng mga artistas? Kasi I've seen a couple of artistas who did like broth something ba yan? And then intermittent fasting, meron mga hindi kumakain, tapos uminom lang sila
Mm.
ng tubig for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, for people who are trying different types of diets, as I said earlier, don't just copy what someone else is doing. So that's number one. If you see a new trend, you have to research about it, and you have to, if you have a connection with a professional in the field, ask them about it. Okay, because there will be new trends, new diets that will arise from time to time, but it doesn't mean that just because it's new, it's better and it will work for you. Okay, so you always have to stick to the basic principle of how do diets work. Diets kasi they're just different methods on how you're going to lose weight. Like as you said, intermittent fasting, it limits your time to eat. So in a day, some people tend to eat less. And for people who are doing low carb, it limits a type of macronutrient. So at the end of the day, they eat less. So you have to think of the science behind it. It all boils down to the energy balance if you're going to really look at the different diets. Okay, so yeah, that's my tip. You have to really research about everything, and don't just believe everything that you see online.
Okay, so this is friendly reminder from Coach Lay, ayan, sa ating listeners and viewers. So sana you take time to take some research, read articles, and reliable information para at least hindi maiwasan natin mamalign sa iba't ibang information presented online. So thank you so much for that, Coach Lay.
Yes, thank you for sharing a lot to us, Coach. Actually, nabiktima din ako ng mga ilang panggagaya na yan sa social media. So, sobrang gusto kong magbawas ng weight. Anyway, thank you so much for accepting our invite, Coach. We know how busy you are, but thank you for making the time. Before we end, where can our listeners find you on Laystrength po?
Mm-hmm. So we have an Instagram account. You can type at Laystrength, LAY. We also have a Facebook account, and you can visit rite.com to see our services and our team.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up the episode for today, Sam. Thank you so much, Coach, for
Thank you,
for
Talia.
and yeah. I know our truth seekers are looking forward for the upcoming guests that we will be having for the show, for the program. Believe me, we're also sharing the same enthusiasm that you're feeling right now, right, Sam?
Of course, Ms. Tel. So this has been DGY Academy. To know more about our future guests and events, you may follow us on our Facebook page, DGY Academy, and Instagram at the Gohoy Academy. Fuel your curiosities to be motivated daily.
Thank you again for listening. Thank you, Coach. This has been
Thank
the
you.
Unspoken DGY Academy. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye.